Could $1 million cure depression? Let's talk about it. If you have depression, I bet you've had this thought. If I just had a little more money, things wouldn't be so bad, and then I could actually work on getting better. And the more you think that, the more resentful you become for not having that little extra cashola. And to make things worse, these thoughts actually prevent you from fixing the depression because your brain just thinks, well, there's no point until you have that little extra money. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. What if I told you you didn't need $1 million to cure your depression? That you didn't even need that little teeny tiny bit extra? And that even if you got the money, you'd still have depression. You don't believe me? Give me a chance to prove it to you. In my last video, I referenced Andrew Tate saying that $1 million could cure depression. What I didn't include is further on in the clip, he says, anything that can be cured with money is not a real illness. Sorry, I'm saying trying to get my Andrew Tate down. Anything that can be cured with money is not a real illness. That's pretty good. Because yeah, that never happens with physical illness. Oh wait, that literally happens all day, every day, that money cures physical illnesses. So let's take a person with depression. And we're gonna run them through the thought experiment machine. And while they're in there, they're gonna get $1 million. What happens next? Well, they'll use their money to pay off their debts, buy a reasonable house, maybe even a trampoline. I'm too poor right now to have my dream trampoline. The debts being paid off, the nice comfy house. Of course, these things provide a sense of security for the brain, which can give you relief from the constant stress, which of course generates a warm, fuzzy feeling. However, this warm, fuzzy feeling is temporary for two main reasons. Reason one, financial stress is only one aspect of a human being's life that can cause stress. So the $1 million in theory could fix this one stressor. That is if you don't then stress about how to properly manage your $1 million. But it does nothing to fix your other stressors. Stressors like relationships, family, friends, intimate, work, health, time management, global issues, uncertainty, expectations. There's an endless list of things that can stress us out, and stress is at the core of depression. And secondly, if you haven't addressed how your brain and body respond to stress, your brain is just going to find other things to be stressed about, which makes that $1 million pretty useless. It's like that episode of South Park where they explored the assumption that without religion there would be no war. And the result was that without religion there was still war. People just fought over what to name their atheist alliances. And there were space otters too. It was a thought-provoking episode. The same thing applies to removing financial stress in order to cure depression. Your brain hasn't learned anything about dealing with stress properly, so it's just going to keep running into the same brick wall. Oh, I just thought, it's like that buy a man a fish proverb. I have this sticker in my house that says, buy a man, eat fish, he day. Teach fish man to a lifetime. And I just think no wiser words exist in this messed up world of ours. And if you still don't believe me that money can't buy you a depression-free existence, there are plenty of examples of people in this world who've had a decent amount of fame and fortune and still been struggling with depression. Robin Williams, Chester Bennington, Kurt Cobain, Chris Farley, Chris Cornell, Jim Belushi, Jim Carrey. Let's just go ahead and say all comedians. Owen Wilson, Carrie Fisher, Anthony Bourdain, Kate Spade. I'm gonna stop here, but some of these people, man, they got some money, baby, and lots of it. Now, I'm gonna pause here because there's a chance that this news is making you sad, and I can understand that. But the truth is, it's good news. It's really, really good news. If you don't need money to fix depression, that means you have everything you need to start fixing it now. Just recently, I had a job where I made a decent chunk of change. Last year, my salary was almost $120K, but we still struggled financially. And I kept thinking, I just gotta get a little more and then we'll be okay. Then I can fix all this crap in my brain. Well, pushing and pushing was making me worse. I was buried in stress. And then I lost my job in February of this year. I tried to keep pushing myself even after that because we need to pay the bills. But then in May of this year, something in me just broke, man, like really bad. 6 years of fighting depression and trying to improve it, I'd say this year I actually hit the lowest point. I went from 120K to nothing. I don't work right now. I get some government assistance, but it is not enough to pay our bills. And my debt is just snowballing out of control. I am really in trouble. So bad. I don't understand how people are supposed to survive when they're sick. So after fighting depression for 6 years and it comes to this, it was like, are you kidding me? Where's my light at the end of the tunnel already? Because if it ain't coming soon, I'm opting for another light at the end of the tunnel, if you know what I mean. But with this time I've been given, the jobless time, I've been making changes that I never thought were possible. And I'm doing it with no money. I used to go to therapy and money helped me to do that, but I can't afford it anymore. My therapist actually offered to give me free sessions. I think because he's just so worried that I'm gonna, go soon. And I am struggling with that still, but I'm seeing these changes and improvements that I believe with more time could actually result in fixing this. The point of this video is not to tell you how to fix your depression. I believe that's going to be unique to each person and that you have to find the pieces of your own puzzle. There's going to be some common threads, which I will make sure to talk about on this channel. But in this video, I wanted to tell you that if you have depression and you're leaning on a hope that money could get you through it, it's just not true. Money is wonderful. It can give us freedom, security. I hate that expression, money can't buy happiness, because come on, a basic income to provide the bare necessities of life is totally essential for happiness. Except for that hobo on Instagram who lives in the woods with his cats. And that guy's awesome. But you don't need money to start working on getting better from your depression. You can start today. Just remember that not every piece of advice is going to work for every single person. Some advice can help you, some can harm you, some can just do absolutely nothing. The key is to keep trying and find what does work for you, and not to worry or start thinking that you're broken just because a piece of advice didn't work for you. Because I know you're gonna think that. There are common threads between all humans, but we are, each of us, unique, which is definitely one of the cooler things about life. Anyways, that's all I have for you today. Until next week, please join the conversation by liking, subscribing, leaving a comment with your thoughts on this, and remember that your mental health is worth so much more than $1 million. But not more than $1 billion. Just kidding! Bye, see you next week. Just become cool. Au naturel. It's so hard. I don't understand how people do this. Last one. And then I need to bite this perfectionism, just nip it in the bud. I don't want to see my boobies. They have to look like a flat chest. Let's pop this collar a little more. I'm feeling all like goofy today. Reason 1. Stop laughing. Get out! I'll murder you! I'll murder you!
That's why I was waiting. Can I get my bike quickly and I'm going?
I will murder you.
I'm sorry.
I come out here to get away from you.
And I'm literally going away from you. You look so beautiful though. I promise I'm a good husband. Tell that to your people.
I'm not putting this in. Leave. Bye. Oopsie doodle.